It all started in the spring of 2016. In the Jasper newspapers was the announcement of the loss of a group of tourists in the national park. In the police report, it was just an accident, because the band went to raft on the river. But you are sure that they are definitely implicated in one of the most elusive creatures, known as Bigfoot, or Sasquatch. You and your team of researchers decide to get the truth. Those words are now immortalized with the story of what happened at Jasper National Park. You probably know the story. Joseph Smith, head ranger of Jasper National Park, commissions Royal Yoitsu yokai corpsmen Sauber and Zero to get to the truth behind the disappearance of the locally popular 21st Street Band. Although Smith did not publicly acknowledge the possibility of Bigfoot being responsible for the disappearance of the 21st Street Band, let alone Bigfoot's existence, Smith allows Sauber and Zero access to Section K28 of Jasper National Park, the same section of Jasper National Park where the band was camped, and begin their search. Sauber and Zero survive harsh weather, surprise jump scares including falling trees, discovering the 4 victims of Bigfoot, all 4 of them being the 4 members of the 21st Street Band, and most of all, getting attacked by Bigfoot several times. After 2 days and 2 nights, Bigfoot is finally caught. Sauber and Zero get hailed as heroes by Head Ranger Smith and the Jasper National Park Rangers team. Afterward, the site is reopened, and now there are regular patrols through the park to assure that Bigfoot stays away from the tourists. The other Bigfoots in the national park are placed under federal protection by the government, and the park is now more popular than ever before, so far without major incident. However, in another forest, far away from Jasper, the calm and peace of the forest was soon to be shattered by the sighting of another Bigfoot, reported to be far more aggressive and dangerous than the Jasper Bigfoot. This story starts in the winter of 2018. In the local newspaper, the Yoitsu Silver Star, was the report of a local group of campers that were flying drones for fun in the national forest when out of nowhere, something that caught their attention appeared. It was a Bigfoot, but this was no ordinary Bigfoot. This one had a bright white coat and was roaming about during broad daylight, something that the Jasper Bigfoot never did except under rare circumstances. Even so, the group posted their sighting to social media. Eventually, it was reported in the local newspaper. The sighting was filmed on November 28, 2018, and no other sightings were reported for a little while. That is, until the December 5th, 2018. On that fateful day, while hunting deer, a local hunter by the name of Marcus Thorpe was walking upstream by the river when he heard a loud roar. He thought it might have been a bear or a snow leopard, but neither animal was the source of the roar. Rather, it was Bigfoot. Thorpe immediately grabbed his rifle and shot Bigfoot, but to his horror, it did not faze him. In shock and in panic, Thorpe began to shoot Bigfoot again, multiple times, attempting at the same time to evade his punching attacks. However, Bigfoot gained the upper hand and sent Thorpe flying through the air into the snow, rendering him unconscious. Local park rangers found him the next morning and airlifted him to the hospital for treatment. Although the doctors confirmed publicly that his injuries were not life-threatening, and he would be released from the hospital within the week, the incident still spread like wildfire, and people all across the media began to question whether or not it was safe to camp at the forest. The incident later gained even more traction when another group of campers stepped forward to share their story of their encounter with Bigfoot. They reported about how the group went to go on a hike one morning and reported hearing distant roars not far from them. However, one of them said that the roar sounded like a roar of pain, and as distant as it sounded, it was actually closer than any of them could have imagined. At the same time, they also reported hearing the sound of wood breaking and glass shattering. When they returned to their camp later that day, they found the camp torn apart. One of the two tents had been ripped to shreds, and their glass containers were also in pieces, and their campfire appeared to have been stomped in, seemingly put out intentionally. Finally, Bigfoot gained attention in the national news media. One Yoitsu News reported a number of statements and stories regarding the Bigfoot case. The first report was by the scientists contracted by the state of Dolan, the state in which the park is located in. The report read, "This incident is beyond belief." In their public statement, the scientists admitted that they could not explain the Bigfoot sightings, as there was no recorded encounters with the creature in that area. Nevertheless, they later stated that they could neither confirm or deny that they would be investigating Bigfoot's presence in Glacier Bay. Later, the chief of police, Chief Justin Dixon, said in an address to the public that his department would be cooperating with the park rangers at Glacier Bay National Park, and that the public has nothing to worry about. Later, in a statement on social media, he later expressed his concerns about the reported incident regarding Bigfoot, but maintained that the forest was safe. Despite the reassurance, many would-be campers either canceled or rearranged their camping plans to other parks nearby. Finally, the last straw. Video footage from Thorpe's GoPro was released, showing the chilling incident when Bigfoot attacked him. Chief Dixon eventually gave in and negotiated with head park ranger Anthony Lawrence to shut down section L74 of Glacier Bay National Park for the public's safety. Other sections of the park would remain open, but access to section L74 would be restricted from then on. Once again, this was not good enough. The very next day, after the closure was put into effect, the public began demanding answers as to what, if anything, the Yoitsu government was going to do about the now so-called Bigfoot of Glacier Bay, or Yeti of Glacier Bay. Then, finally, on December 12th, 2018, RYYC spokesman Donald Fillmore announced in a press conference that the Royal Yoitsu Yokai Corps, or RYYC, would be launching an official inquiry into the Bigfoot case and find out as much as possible about Bigfoot, and if possible, capture him and relocate him to an undisclosed area to be released back into the wild, away from the campgrounds and campers of Glacier Bay. This story started in the winter of 2018. In the Yoitsu Silver Star newspaper was the report of a Bigfoot sighting in the national park, recorded by local campers flying drones in Glacier Bay National Park on November 28, 2018. In the report, it had stated it was a rare sighting, and that the public had nothing to worry about. However, on December 5th, 2018, a local hunter was attacked by a Bigfoot and was seriously injured. Even though his injuries were not life-threatening, placed under pressure from state officials, it was decided to close down the section of the park where Bigfoot was sighted. However, the next day, the public demanded answers to the Bigfoot case, and the Royal Yoitsu Yokai Corps said that they would take up the case and launch an official investigation. You and your team of hunters and researchers have been tasked with the mission to get the truth, and most of all, catch Bigfoot. Your research team has been equipped with the best hunting and tracking equipment available. The size of your team will determine how much of the equipment will be available. So here is what you can obtain at the start of the mission. Once you have started the mission, you will be dropped off by the RYYC helicopter at the south beach of Glacier Bay. You will have your trusty bolt-action hunting rifle with a built-in scope for long-range combat, as well as your tablet. Attention! Once you get off the helicopter, you will need to head to the Abandoned Research Institute as quickly as possible, as nightfall will soon arrive. Once there, you can coordinate with your team and plan out the hunting strategy. Once you are at the Abandoned Research Institute's cabin, you will have an assortment of equipment available to you. Additional ammunition, flare gun shots, traps, medkits, cameras, flare sticks, night vision goggles, tents, and best of all, drones. Note: there may or may not be a way to charge your batteries or repair your drone should it get damaged. It is also uncertain if GPS tracker bullets will be available for the mission, just as it was during the Jasper campaign. Take good care of all your equipment, and make them last, because if you run out of supplies of any kind, you're on your own. Also, there are other supplies and loot scattered throughout the map. Be sure to keep a sharp eye out for such equipment, as it will help you with your hunt. In addition, you will also be able to collect sticks you find on your path. You can use them to make a campfire in order to keep warm in the winter cold. You can also set up your tent by the fire to keep warm and shelter yourself from the snow. Bear in mind, the tent will not protect you from Bigfoot should he attack you while you are inside. He will rip the tent apart, rendering it useless. So discretion should be used when placing and using a tent. The mission area is in Glacier Bay National Park. Glacier Bay is a huge park. It is estimated to be more than 4 times larger than Jasper National Park. So to help with the great size, your team has been provided with long-range RC drones that you can use in your to help in your search for Bigfoot. Unfortunately, the drones are not well suited for nighttime search. Although they are equipped with headlights, it's difficult to fly in nighttime conditions, so it's advised that they be reserved for daytime operations. There are other areas of interest in Glacier Bay, some of which are unconfirmed even by the park rangers. There is estimated to be 3 caves that Bigfoot is believed to reside in, as well as a mythical stone formation. Your secondary mission, should you choose to accept it, is to explore the park and investigate the reports of the 3 mysterious caves, stone formation, and other areas of interest. Finally, let's highlight on the man or monster himself, Bigfoot. If you are a Jasper veteran, you will recall that it was next to impossible to find Bigfoot during the day. If you did find him during the day, he would simply run away. However, when night fell, he would actively hunt you down, attacking you or one of your teammates, and then running away. The Bigfoot you are hunting here in Glacier Bay is reported to be far more aggressive than his springtime relative. It is reported that Bigfoot will not attack unless provoked. It is possible to encounter him during the daylight also. In addition, it would seem that he is able to damage or even destroy the trap he is in once he breaks free. What's more, once provoked, Bigfoot will aggressively attack you, throwing you to the ground and causing more damage. He will also proceed to attack your teammates if they are near you once he has finished attacking you. So keep on guard and watch your six. You never know if the radio signal informing you of the presence of an animal is a deer, fox, or Bigfoot. Now that you have been briefed on what to expect for the mission, it is now time to prepare. Very soon now, you and your team will be picked up by helicopter to head to Glacier Bay. Can you take up the mission? Can you answer the call of Yoitsu? Your mission, should you choose to accept it, begins now.